Hey everybody, welcome. We're doing a bottle review for Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. This is about a $20 bottle, a little cheaper sometimes.
Not bad.
And it is pretty common. Pretty ubiquitous. You can find it anywhere. It is a bottom shelfer, but only in name and price.
Okay.
So we're gonna test it out today. See how it hits compared to any of the other bourbons that we normally do and we normally like. How much do you want?
You give me about a finger. There we go.
Good.
Not that finger.
All right. Trying to coin the phrase a tickle.
Yeah, there we go.
Just
we'll
half
work
a
on
finger.
that one.
All right. Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's the nose. It took a little second.
Yeah,
to
it was a
open
little,
up some.
little ethanol-y, like right on the when you stick your nose in there. I think it's because it's like it's such a cheap whiskey that you might feel like it's you have to get your nose way in there, but actually it has quite
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not an oh my gosh nose on that, but it's nice.
No, it's nice. I guess it's sort of, for me, it's like right down the middle bourbon. It's like it's typical like vanilla and caramel.
Yeah, maybe banana.
I would love
a little banana in there.
Yeah, I love the artificial banana flavor on anything.
Yeah.
And so I love that kind of nose. I'm not specifically getting that, but I think I can get what you're getting at. Like it's sort of like almost like a vanilla oaky.
Yeah.
Almost banana, almost like a real banana smell rather than artificial banana smell. It's rich and it doesn't have, you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have that like, you know, on a lot of cheap whiskeys, you start out with that like nail polish remover.
Right. Yeah. That acetate.
Yeah.
Acetate, one of those
acetone,
two.
I think. I don't know. You're
Acetone,
talking to a fool, so yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. You ready for?
Let's sip.
Cheers.
The spice once you get the that first inhale really opens things up. Feel it opening across the roof of the mouth there, across the top of the palate.
I love the mid palate on this. It's sort of it kind of like is weird to say, but it kind of like flattens out into like a really nice vanilla for me.
Yeah,
right in the middle.
Yep. Now, is it vanilla or vanilla in? The stuff that comes from the bean or the stuff that comes from the beaver's butt? That's nice. Yeah, and for a $20 bottle,
it's unbelievable, right?
Very drinkable.
So this also is known as a great mixer because at 100 proof it carries its own weight.
Yeah.
But you can see how much flavor it packs. Like I think
I'm getting the legs on it.
Yeah, you get the legs on there. Yeah, I don't think that this has any business being a $20 whiskey. I mean, it's not going to blow everybody's.
No, but I'd stack that up with, any good mixing whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely.
And better than most.
I think.
So what would you mix with this?
I mean, like right off the top of my head, I would say an old fashioned.
Yep.
Or a Manhattan or something like that. But this is, to me, like really great for carrying. It's very oaky. It's very vanilla-y. It's very caramel.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
It does have like, it's not fruity like a red fruit or a stone fruit.
So I'm thinking more orange with this. So the orange old fashioned rather than the cherry old fashioned.
And it has that spicy baking spice kind of thing going too.
Yeah, I get that one.
So it could really carry its own weight with some sweetness added to it because of that sort of peppery, oaky.
Yeah. All right, now I've got just enough left that I'm going to play around with opening it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love the pipette. It feels so sophisticated when I do this.
Only unsophisticated people say this feels sophisticated.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Fine. I've outed myself. It definitely it closes off the nose a little bit when you hit that water in there.
Yeah. Does it change it?
Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, 3 drops of water in that little bit that I had left.
Okay, yeah.
And it is much softer.
It really softened it out. It did.
Yeah, now that's into just, sipping on the rocks territory. I mean, not that I would necessarily put this on rocks. It's too much water, but on actual rocks, on stones.
Oh, on like a whiskey stone.
Like a whiskey stone with just that little bit of water in it to open it up.
Yeah. I think that this is right in that sort of...
Yeah, it's amazing how much the water changes the character of it, even that little bit.
So that just tells you that mixing this, you'd still carry a lot of that sweet caramel flavor with you and that baking spice with you, even when you messed with the chemistry of it.
And you don't lose too much of the punch of it because it's starting out at that 100 proof.
Exactly.
Cool. This is fantastic, and it's also gone.
What happened?
I must have evaporated.
Well, I want to hear your thoughts.
So I really like it as a budget whiskey, as something that you can pick up and easily mix with something, but sip it neat, sip it on the rocks if you choose to, or with a stone. I mean, at a $20 price point, that's a fantastic bottle,
right?
And it's one that I'm not going to feel guilty about. Let me mix that with something.
Exactly.
Let me throw. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe not Diet Coke or something like that. Well, I'm nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Jack.
Whatever works. For
I grew up on Jack and Cokes. I mean, like, I grew up. That sounds like I was.
But how old were you when you were having these Jack and Cokes? Statute of limitations has run out on that. I think we're safe.
I would mix this with Diet Coke, sure.
Yeah,
and not feel bad about it. But that's, I get what you're saying. That this is not.
Yeah, and would I rather mix Jack or this with Diet Coke? I'd rather mix this.
I'd rather mix with this. Yeah.
I've got something with some real punch to it, some real flavor. There's nothing wrong with Jack.
Nothing wrong with Black Label Jack. But this is, for me, if you're gonna spend a 20 on whiskey, there are a couple other contenders out there. Some of them I've never even had. I know that people at home,
as good value at that price.
Exactly. Early times I've never had.
Okay.
Things like that are like benchmark.
Right.
I've never had those, so I can't compare them yet. Once I get my hands on them, I'll do a side by side. But for my money, there are very, very, very few other $20 or sub $20 bottles that you're going to get that come anywhere close to this.
This is a 4-year minimum?
This is a 4-year. So if it's bottled in bond, it's going to be a 4-year minimum. With this different
Easy for you to say. You need to drink more. I need more to drink.
Yes.
Give me a little top off there.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the full strength and see what that feels like.
Yeah. And give it a nice nose again. A little retro.
Back to the Future, yeah.
I get a little, now I'm getting a little, weirdly enough, I'm getting a little cherry now, which is exactly what I said I didn't get before. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's still a little more raisin.
Okay, yeah. But dark fruit, not.
Yeah, dark cherry, not bright cherry.
Yeah. You have to really dig for it. But for me, this is like oaky,
it's
vanilla,
not like
caramel.
That red currant one we had the other day, which was gorgeous.
Okay. So I would describe this as, again, vanilla, caramel, but peppery, coming from that oak.
Yep.
Spicy, like baking spice, and with a little zest of something. Yep.
All right, so you got my take on it. I think you've given yours, but bottom line, this is a very, very drinkable $20 bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
Let's give it front and center billing here between us. Well done, my friend.
This is a fantastic bottle. If you are at home wondering, or in a store somewhere wondering whether or not you want to pick up this bottle, or if you're wondering what bottle would be great off that bottom shelf, you cannot go wrong with this one. Do you agree?
No, you're picking about the same price point as that the Jack Black, right?
Yeah.
And
Jack Black.
Yeah.
Jack Daniel's Black Label.
Jack Daniel's Black Label. You're picking about the same price point as that, and I think this punches way above that weight class.
I agree completely. It has much more character, much more flavor, a little bit more sweetness, and the nose actually really comes through. I think that Jack Daniel's Black Label it smells like whiskey. It smells like whiskey, you know?
And don't let the 100 proof scare you off. It's not that aggressive. Yeah. And you can always cut it a little bit, as we did with, even just a little bit of water really opens it up.
It's great.
But it has much more depth to it than I think something that is already down at that 80 proof point, which is sort of standard. It
can carry so much more.
Yeah.
It can lift so much. It brings so many more flavors to the party.
Yeah.
It's not bringing whatever you're drinking with a hit of whiskey.
Right.
This is a bourbon that tastes like a good bourbon that you don't mind pouring other things and experimenting with.
Right.
Because it carries its own weight.
Yep.
It's gonna have a presence at the party. It's got Riz.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you're gonna taste this bourbon in your drink. And then whatever you mix it with is gonna have to, budge over and give it some room and play nice. And
which is what you want.
That's what you want.
Good mixing bourbon.
That's what you want. And you're not gonna regret pouring it with anything because $18.
Yeah, right.
So
if you find something that it actually doesn't work well with, okay, you've lost a shot worth, which is what, $1 or $2. Fine. I'll probably drink it if you don't.
Seriously, do not waste whiskey. This is gonna be a value pick. As far as a bourbon, if you ignore the price, how would you, just let's say like a A to F with an S tier being like super. Where would you rate, considering you're an enthusiast, but
I'd rate myself as a novice enthusiast.
Right?
No, I would say this is a solid high C, low B for me.
High C, low B. I was gonna say a B- for it for actual taste. I mean, compared to like the gamut of whiskey out there, it's hard to get an A.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get an S.
Yeah.
B is like, okay, that's a really good whiskey, and this is a B- for me. It's like this is a good whiskey, and then now we talk about the price. We throw that $20 in there. I got this for $18. So. And it's ubiquitous. Like, it's not $18 if you can find it. You're gonna find this whiskey almost anywhere. So, now when we add that in, for me, I want to hear yours first. Where would you?
No, I always figured that value gives it at least a half a letter grade.
Yeah.
So it'll bump a C+ up to a B- or a B- up to a B.
Sounds good.
For a good value. Great value might give it two steps on that scale for me.
Sounds like you're right in that B somewhere.
Yeah.
In that B
so
value.
this is a solid B.
That's awesome. I would go so far as to say this for me is an A tier for value, because how much you're getting for that $20 bill. And granted, when you're drinking a sipper and you want the best of the best, I get it. You're not going to reach for this bottle. But I have had many a bottle that I wish I had two of these bottles instead of.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, do you want one of these, or do you want two of these, or do you want one $40 bottle?
Exactly.
That's got to be a pretty special $40 bottle for me to go, I want it more than I want two of these.
It depends on what kind of party you're having.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you can't go wrong with this bottle. If you have a 20 and you want whiskey, I can't recommend this enough.
No, it is a very solid value buy, and real approachable too.
Really approachable.
It's not gonna knock your socks off. In a bad way. It's not gonna blow your head off. You're gonna enjoy this.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Don't hesitate. Just grab this bottle. And
if you don't enjoy it, drop us a note and let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Please mention in the comments where we went wrong, if we went wrong. But I think that pretty much everyone across the board is going to drink this and go, yeah, yep.
Yep.
There's no real downside to this when you consider the price point.
Absolutely. All right. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers with an empty glass. Yeah, I think we do that.
A B to A bottle for value.
Yep.
Solid.
Yep.
Really, really solid. All right. That's it. Thank you everybody for dropping by. You don't have to click home, but you can't stay here. Please drink responsibly. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.